Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing great. Welcome back to our channel AglaSem Schools. Today in this video I will be covering chapter 4 of class 10th social economics, that is globalization and the Indian economy. So let's discuss question and answers. Now turn to page number 72. Here question number 1 says, what do you understand by globalization? Explain in your own words. Answer is, globalization is a process of interaction and integration among the people, companies and governments of different nations, a process driven by international trade and investment and aided by information technology. Second is, under globalization, the countries that hitherto closed to trade and foreign investment open up their economies and go global. The result is increasing interconnections and integration of the economies of the world. Further, question number 2 says, what was the reason for putting barriers to foreign trade and foreign investment by the Indian government? Why did it wish to remove these barriers? Answer is, first, that is, the government had put restrictions on the import of goods to protect domestic producers from foreign competition because industries were coming up in the 1950s and 1960s, and the competition from import at that stage would not have allowed these industries to come up. Thus, the government allowed imports for only essential items such as machineries, fertilizers and petroleum. These restrictions helped to attain technological capability within the country. Second is, starting from 1991, the government wished to remove the barriers due to reasons as mentioned, and they are, first, India had attained technological capability. Second is, the government decided that the time had came from Indian producers to compete with producers among the globe. Third, it felt that competition would improve the performance of producers within the country since they would have to improve their quality. And the fourth point is, there would be an unrestricted exchange of capital, technology and experience between India and the other countries of the world. Thus, barriers to foreign trade and foreign investment were removed. Further, question number 3 says, how would flexibility in labor laws help companies? Answer is, flexibility in labor laws will help companies in being competitive and progressive. By easing up on labor laws, company heads can negotiate wages and terminate employment depending on market conditions. This will lead to an increase in the company's competitiveness. Further, question number 4 says, what was the various ways in which MNCs set up or control production in other countries? Answer is, MNCs set up production on the basis of the following factors, and they are closeness of the place to the markets, availability of skilled and unskilled labor at low cost, availability of other factors of production, that is, raw material, etc. Government's favorable policies. Second point is, after assuring above conditions, MNCs set up factories and offices for production. They buy assets such as land, buildings and machines and other equipments. Third point is, at times, MNCs set up production jointly with local companies because the local companies has knowledge of the local business condition. Moreover, the domestic companies has an established framework of business. MNCs provide money and latest technology for production. For the fourth point is, MNCs buy up local companies to expand production, whereas MNCs with huge wealth can quite easily do so. Fifth is, some MNCs starts as an independent entity right from the beginning. Now question number 5 says, why do developed countries want developing countries to liberalize their trade and investment? What do you think the developing countries demand in return? Answer is, developed countries want developing countries to liberalize their trade and investment because then the MNCs belonging to the developed countries can set up factories in less expensive developing nations and thereby increase profits with lower manufacturing cost and the same sale price. In my opinion, the developing countries should demand in return for some manner of protection of domestic producers against competition from imports. Further, question number 6 says, the impact of globalization has not been uniformed. Explain this statement. Answer is, first, let's talk about positive impact. So here, globalization has resulted in more choices for the consumers who now get better quality and at lower price several products. Second point is, this has improved the standard of living of people, particularly living in urban areas. Third is, MNCs have increased their investment in developing countries like India in industries such as cell phone, automobiles, electronics, soft drink, etc. Fourth point is, some local companies that supply raw materials to MNCs have also benefited. Now, let's talk about negative impact. Here, first point is, creation of special economic zone has disturbed the lives of people who are displaced such as tribals. Second, flexibility in labor laws. Third, effect on small producers. Fourth, it is clear that the impact of globalization has not been uniformed. It has positive as well as negative impact. Now, let's discuss question number 7, which says, how has liberalization of trade and investment policies helped the globalization process? Answer is, liberalization of trade and investment policies has helped the globalization process by making foreigners' trade and investment easier. Earlier, several developing countries has placed barrier and restriction on import and investment from abroad to protect domestic production. However, to improve the quality of domestic goods, these countries have removed the barriers. Thus, liberalization has led to the further spread of globalization because now businesses are allowed to make their own decision on importing and exports. Now, question number 8 says, how does foreign trade lead to the integration of market cross countries? Explain with one example other than those given here. Answer is, foreign trade leads to the integration of market across countries because it creates an opportunity for the producer to reach beyond the domestic markets, that is, markets of their own countries. Second is, the buyers too have a choice between the good produced in different parts of the world. It enables the consumer to buy according to this requirement. Now, question number 9 says, globalization will continue in the future. Can you imagine what the world would be like 20 years from now? Give a reason for your answer. Answer is, globalization will continue in the future. 20 years from now, the world will be more global, connected and integrated into one international economy. If this process continues on the fair and equitable basis, trade and capital flows will increase alongside the mobility of labor. This will occur because the liberalization will get augmented and MNCs will converge with other companies producing the same goods. Further, question number 10 says, supporting you find two people arguing. One is saying globalization has hurt our country's development and the other is telling globalization is helping India develop. How would you respond to these organizations? So guys, this you can do it yourself. Further, let's talk about question number 11, which says filling the blanks. So the answer is, Indian buyers have a greater choice of goods than they did 2 decades back. This is closely associated with the process of dash. Answer is globalization. Further, markets in India are selling goods produced in many other countries. This means there is increased dash with other countries. Answer is trade. Now, moreover, the rising number of brands that we see in the markets might be produced by MNCs in India. MNCs are investing in India because of dash. Answer is because of cheaper production cost. Further, while consumers have more choices in the market, the effect of rising dash and dash has met greater dash among the producer. Answer is, the effect of rising demand and purchasing power has meant greater competition among the producer. Further, question number 13 says, choose the most appropriate option. First, the past 2 decades of globalization has been rapid movements in A part says goods, services and people between countries. B part says goods, services and investment between countries. C part says goods, investment and people between countries. So the answer is B, that is goods, services and investment between countries. Second part says the most common route for investment by MNCs in countries around the world is to first, set up new factories. Second, buy existing local companies. Third, form partnership with local companies. Answer is B, that is buy existing local companies. Further, third part says globalization has led to an improvement of living condition. First, of all the people. Second, of the people in developed countries. Third, of workers in the developing countries. And fourth is none of the above. So answer is fourth, that is none of the above. So guys, I have covered all the questions of this chapter in this video. I hope you like this video, and if you have any query or any doubt related to any of the questions discussed, please put your query in the comment section below. For more such NCERT solutions, keep watching and do not forget to subscribe our channel AglaSem Schools. And do not forget to wear a mask and take good care of your health.